What's going on YouTube? This is Rone coming at you with the video that you guys are all waiting for. Finally got through all of the Duelist Cups as much as I can gather, unfortunately. There's a lot of great people playing this game, and as far as, I set a personal goal of reaching 10,000 points. I actually reached 11,000 points, or at least near it. I was like 10, 8, 8, 8, so close enough for me. So, without further ado, I thought I'd go into some of my replays of some of the best moments that I thought that happened across the game. I didn't make any adjustments to the deck. I kind of kept everything more. Well, actually, no, just kidding. I think I did. Yes, I did. Just kidding. So let me actually give you a quick look at the new deck list that I did make, which added some consistency. Check it out here. So, edit deck. So this is the new updated deck. So one thing that was really annoying the hell out of me with the other games that I was playing is it felt like I lacked a lot of consistency. Like for some crazy reason, I'd have like a 40 card deck and I'd always draw into the stupidest things possible. So I ended up making a few changes, quite a few changes. I'm not even gonna lie, I don't even remember them. So I'm just gonna leave my deck list here for you guys to take a quick look at. Like the Jogan's the same, Barrier Statue's the same, Fossil Dyna, Spectre Border. I'm pretty sure I switched out the two Lightning Storms for Raigeki and Harpies. I figured this would add a little bit more utility for me, so that way if I end up seeing either of these on turn one, it's not like the end of the world, because then I can either use it or actually I shouldn't say like on my turn, but more so the fact that there's no weird conditions. So like for example, Lightning Storm, if you have monsters on your field, you can't use it. Whereas these doesn't matter, you just use them whenever you want. So I just like that utility out of these cards. Then so Pot of Duality is the same, Dark Ruler, Nadir Servant. I ended up increasing Time Tearing to 3 because I don't know if you saw, but I have a 44 card deck now as opposed to the 40 card deck. So I figured I would add an extra Time Tearing just to add some more consistency. Like I see this card, then I can start drawing two at a time. It makes 44 cards seem a lot less, or a lot less of a total. So it's much better. And then Moonmirror is the same, Necro Valley the same. Um, then going towards the end here, so Gunganda, so Solums were at 3 still. I added 2 Solum strikes just because I literally cannot stand SP Little Knight. That card is the most broken card in the universe because it takes very little resources to make. The on card effect, upon summon is gross because it's literally just whatever card you want, you can just throw it out of, or banish it and throw it out of there. So yeah, I had Solum strikes for that just because with this card, at least this is like one easy way to try to combat him. Like if I put it on the field, he ends up going into SP. He tries to do some nonsense. I can just soul him it, and that'll be a way out of not only the on summon effect, but anytime he tries to float my cards, because you'll try to use, let's say, like Dogmatica or just whatever cards. Like even trying to think what else. Raigeki, evenly. He ends up just floating around them. Solum saves that. So I mean, at least that adds a little bit of utility for me. Then Grave of the Super Ancients. This card is great, especially for a lot of cards that are special, or a lot of these monsters that get special summoned, they're level 6 or higher. This adds just like another layer of protection to make sure that you're not getting, and it's not only does it not activate effects, they can't even declare attacks. That's huge. I mean, that's a very big very big effect of a card that especially synergizes well with this stun deck. And then this typical safe zone. Now, one thing I didn't say, which I think I'm going to do like next chance I get for my deck list, if you have more Ash Dragons, use these over these cards, because Ash Dragons end phase effect allows you to pull and possibly special summon your Ecclesia. So honestly, if you have more of these, use them. I'm going to do the same. I have enough UR, as you could see, so I'd be stupid to not do that, because I could have probably won a game or two that I lost just because I used Ash Dragon early. Then they kept popping cards or doing stuff, and I could have used Ash Dragon a few more times to maybe save myself. So definitely going to be next on my list to do for this deck. And then everything else the same as I mentioned. So Rimbrum, Gold Cloud, Beast. Sorry, I went a little too fast. So yeah, Tri Brigade. These final cards here. So yeah, so that's the deck profile. So let's go into the replays. So this one was actually extremely strange. You're gonna see why it lasted as long as it did. It was so dumb. I was really getting annoyed. So I, kind of just typical setup like Necro Valley, Barrier Statue, Golgonda, because I didn't have any real protection from, no Solems, no anything to really protect this card outside of this. But I'm open to obviously imperm and things like that. So he sets the down card. I was like, okay, I've seen this before hundreds of times. I'm just gonna attack into him with my Moon Mirror Shield, which unfortunately didn't work out because he ended up using a card that cannot be destroyed by battle. So I'm like, okay, he's probably just stalling. So I ended up blasting these two. I figured he was just stalling. Like, he'll just stall until he gets the perfect cards he needs. And I just try to take one turn just to swoop in and just destroy my board. But you're gonna soon figure out after 30 turns that was not what he was trying to do. This was not his game plan. This was not the mission for him. So I set down two Solems just in case he tries to start using monster effects. I mean, this was a huge misplay. I should not have done that. That was beyond stupid. Because, I mean, I don't think I was going to have, like, two monster effects in a single turn, but we'll continue to play through it. So then I get the Solem, so now I have three Solems in the middle. I feel protected. There's nothing that's going to happen to break this board anymore. But as I start playing this game, I come to find out this dude, like, you're gonna see, so like it doesn't set in right away. So I just set Inspector Border here for now, and I just continue to wait. This is where I started realizing, because now I go to attack this card. See, 17, yeah, so he's got the same bullshit card. So this one can't be destroyed by battle. This one also can't be destroyed by battle. So now at this point, I'm like, all right, this guy's just going to try to deck me out. So now I start panicking because there's nothing I can do. Like, I mean, I can't attack him. He can't attack me. I'm half hoping he decides to use some like monster effect or something here. Here I could have used Solem, but I didn't, like an idiot. Like, that was this game could have been done like maybe 15 turns ago, sadly, but it didn't happen. So I just continue to play out, and the reason I saved this replay is because I did the craziest thing to make sure that I win this game. So first things first, I'll wait until I get the cards that I need. Because I actually ruined one of the cards. So, like, the card that I did need, I had, and I threw it away, not realizing it. So I'm just gonna wait. And I mean, if you guys know it already, good job or good catch. For those who don't, I'll explain it in a second. Because now this is literally just draw, 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 draw. And there's just, this guy really was just totally content on letting me run out of cards. I'm at 16 cards. He's at 28. Like, he had no reason to do anything other than to just sit me out. So now I get first, or no, I don't get the first card yet. Or actually, I did get the first card a few turns ago, but you're gonna see which card I'm waiting on because this kind of saved my life. But it's actually kind of insane how long it took, because I had to do like I had to do several several moves in order to win this game. Like, I was just waiting on several moves. So I get the second card I need, and then after the second card, now I need one final card, and I'm like looking in my graveyard and my banish pile. I'm like, did it run away or did I lose it? I didn't lose it. So now I'm just sitting here waiting and waiting. Okay, so now all of them are here. So I'm gonna walk you through it step by step. Look at what ends up happening. So first things first, Dimension Shifter, clear out a spell and trap spot. This goes, I can't do anything with this. Harpies to wipe out the, all of his cards just in case he has anything crazy there. Dark Ruler to make these cards useless. But the last part that I needed, the missing piece of the puzzle, was this guy had 1700 defense, and honestly, like, I mean, I did not want to waste Inspector Border on this guy, so I ended up waiting for Moon Mirror Shield just to make sure that I could attack over him. And now that was just extra insult to injury. I was like, F you! So I just hit him one time and then passed. Now I'm in the driver's seat because so now I'm actually panicking because he did this. I was like, oh Jesus, watch him have another because he has a lot of cards here. I thought he found another monster that was like indestructible by battle. Did not happen. So now I just attack him with every freaking monster now that I can actually attack through. And then that was game. That was like that literally that quick interaction saved my whole life. This whole game, I was like, man, like I just destroyed one monster, and then just a series of different spells just to try to stop all that BS from happening. And luckily, I was able to win. I really thought I was like, oh, I'm gonna lose this. I was like, am I really gonna lose by decking out because of this guy? And I mean, it really was a strategy. I mean, he totally could have did that, but at least I had enough weapons to try to move past his. I mean, it was a very weak strategy, but it was a strategy. Luckily, I had enough cards to get through it. So this one, I mean, I was a little shocked. So I opened Time Tearing. I go Dogmatica. He imperms me, and I was like, okay. I was like, okay, I guess he's gonna imperm this card. So then that leaves this card free, thankfully. So now my next fear is if you were to summon a monster more powerful than this monster with more attack, but he didn't. But what he was gonna try to do, which I was not gonna let him, was he was gonna get his stupid card, to it's like a destruction spell where he puts the spell down, he targets this monster, destroys my monster, and then he just recycles this bullshit King Phoenix like back into his hand. So I just cancel that out. And it's Time Tearing, so I was hoping I would get two monsters that would save me. I mean, two cards that would give me more stability. I get Golgonda, which is huge because their whole thing is destruction. So this will protect against destruction. So now I feel a little bit more comfortable. See, he has that card, and then he probably knows what this card does. He's like, yeah, I'm just not even gonna waste it. So now this is important. So I have Raigeki here. I totally could have used Raigeki here to just destroy his monster and get more damage, but Raigeki is a ton of monsters, and I have an ability to just attack him and take his monster off the board. So I was like, I'll just go with the path of least resistance. So I attack, and then I pass, and then now the fun begins for this guy. This guy thought he had me, and I was so annoyed. So now he starts his Poplar nonsense. I destroy his Poplar monster, but then he gets that stupid card, the submissive, the other one, the Snake Eyes card that he can send this back into my spell zone. So then now he's like, ooh, now I can fucking go crazy and full combo and just spend 5 minutes on my turn. So now he just goes and juggles and does all of his stuff with all of his cards, sets up a really nice board of all these monsters. Golgonda also saved my life, I'm not even gonna lie to you, because legit. So he attacks here, I still get defend, there's still some defense, so I didn't lose, like, the full life points. So thankfully, like, that, just the fact that I had the 1500 monster for 2 attacks definitely saved me and I didn't die. So now this one is fun. So Dark Ruler to stop all of his monsters from bullshitting me. I set up Necro Valley because then whatever I destroy stays in the graveyard. Boom, Raigeki. Just stopped all of his bullshit. And guess what? I got Golgonda, so he can't kill me. So like I ended up setting up Golgonda, got Dogmatica on the field. He ended up using another Ash, and I was like, okay, let's go back to the same 2 monsters we started with from the turn 1. So now I have the same 2 monsters, and the beauty is that this is water, and he has all these fires, so had to quit. He had to quit after that. So yeah, that shit was crazy. Like something in me was like, oh, let me hold my Raigeki just to make sure, because at least it's like a get out of jail card. And as I told you in my decklist profile explanation, now if that shit was a lightning storm, I would have had a problem. Like I would not have been able to do anything. But Raigeki doesn't care, like whether you have cards on your field or not. So worked out very well. So now this one, I mean, this was a very weird game. Not gonna lie to you, because I like this hand is garbage. I mean, I do have an evenly, which is very good, but Time Tearing, like, why would I just summon 2 Dogmaticas back to back? So I had to think really hard on this one. So now I get time tearing. I start out with time tearing, which is awesome. Then I go evenly and just wipe out his board. That's very important. So I get the Dogmatica. I set Dogmatica. So here, so my plan simply is like Dogmatica. So I hold these cards, hopefully, fingers crossed. Dogmatica effect on next turn to attack and destroy him. I destroy him. Then he uses his effect to destroy all my monsters, the typical, and then I was just going to soul him that. That was the plan. But the plan didn't go exactly as planned. He ended up, his card disappeared, and I was like, what the hell is he doing here? He ends up getting rid of my monster figures. I was just like, oh well, I didn't really want it anyway. I mean, there's other monsters I would have rather had in that scenario, but then he ends up destroying my fucking Solum. I was so annoyed. I was like, seriously? Like, but honestly, it still sort of worked out because I didn't use any life points and my Dogmatic is still alive, which I end up using. So, or at least I thought I used, sadly, because shit didn't happen. Like, I tried to destroy him, but didn't work out. So now he goes with Predaplant. So here he has Predaplant, these monsters, and honestly, I don't even know like what he was gonna do with this, but I didn't even care. I didn't want to find out. So first things first, come next turn, once I get my 2 cards. Well, actually, that's the thing. Like, so I have Dark Ruler. Time Tearing is useless because, of course, they want to give me copies of every card that I have. Dogmatica effects goes through. So then I don't even, I'm not even going to lie to you, it's probably stupid. I was like, well, this is super rare, this is ultra rare, this ultra rare probably seems way more important. So I ended up attacking this card, and I was like, well, let's just go with that. So then, come next turn, I get Dogmatica to destroy the other card. I use the other effect. So I use this effect to destroy him. And then he had to pass turn. Entis, man, Entis is very powerful. So now I get Necro Valley. So this was cool, because now I get Necro Valley on the field. Now he can't recycle cards anymore. This card is off the field. I got Golgonda for more protection from destruction, and now I'm sitting great. And he's like, yeah, he's sitting a little too great, so he had to quit. I mean, that was it for him. So I don't know how I got through that one, because that one was a really bad opening hand, but I made it work. So now this one was actually a little easier than I thought. This one, there's really not very much for me to tell you outside of this almost looks like a Unchained U-Bell deck, or just like or some variant of the sort. So I didn't get to see any U-Bell monsters this turn, so I might even be wrong. But it was at least a pretty solid Unchained package. So with Unchained, I already know for a fact he's going to try to use his this effect to special summon something. So I go Necro Valley, I go Jogan, and then I go Nadir Servant. He ashes this, but then when I go to activate Jogan's effect, he uses his card to destroy both mine. But then thankfully, Necro Valley. I mean, like, Necro Valley is such an oppressive card. So now his stuff stays in the graveyard, it can't leave. He keeps trying to use his effects to pull things out, it's not working out. And then I activate this just in case. I didn't know if he was using U-Bell, so at least I know this will stop whatever U-Bell effects that can happen. So he didn't learn his lesson. He used it like 2 or 3 times. I'm sure he probably is like, how the hell is this working? Because maybe he's thinking it's this effect when it's not, and really it's this effect. So now I have Dogmatica. So this turn, I wasn't sure. I was like, should I risk using this to because I didn't know if he was gonna quick effect over it, but it was in the middle of normal summoning, so I think that he couldn't use it. So I was like, let me just get this shit off the field, and that was enough for him to tilt and quit. So final one. This one is actually relatively epic because I did not open with a good hand, and I was still able to like play through it. Yeah, like what the hell hand is like? What even is this hand? Like this is like so depressing. So I go time tearing because that's all I can do. Go Gonda. I mean, Necro Valley is very good, and Solemn Strike is okay, but I mean, I was really freaking out because I mean, to me he used a normal summon, so now that I figured if he was gonna use a special summon, he would have special summoned first and normal summon later. So I was like, well, let me just use this strike and hope that's all he has on that turn. And sure enough, I was right. So now I'm just like the thing was is like time tearing. I mean, literally two save zones, a Dark Ruler, Solemn, another Necro Valley. Throw the Solemn down just in case he tries to do any spells or anything that's very strong or strong opening start. Two more cards come. I finally get my Fossil Dyna. I set Moon Mirror on him, and I just keep attacking. And I set Safe Zone here just in case he has an Imperm. Because with the Imperm, at least, but the thing, so the problem here is I had to make a choice too. I have the option of either keeping off of Safe Zone and attacking repeatedly, or adding Safe Zone and not being able to directly attack, but then I'm, protected from Imperm. I figured if he would have impermed me, he would have already impermed me. So I just kept going. And also I did have a Solemn to protect me from at least one imperm. So this was a really tough one, and I'm so like the other goal was is that with attacking him and letting this whole go through, I was like, well, maybe I get another monster. I said another monster, and then the other monster I can add safe zone to or something. But I just kept getting nonsense. I was like, what is going on right now? So I just keep attacking one at a time, one at a time. Still no monsters. Like after like 1,000 cards, like literally time tearing, giving me a handful of no monsters. So I'm just like, well, I mean, it is what it is. I'm just gonna keep attacking and hope nothing happens. So this here, so the fact that he was getting down to near the end of his life points, I figured this was an act of desperation. So I was like, do I actually soul him this and stop his two draws, or do I let it go through? I elect to soul him it just because the timing. Like it could have easily have been a bait, but when he did that, I thought that was a bait. I was like, oh, he's baiting me, and then he just did that just in retaliation. He probably was just pissed off at me, so he just did that just to do that. So then I get rid of all of his back row, which was crazy. This he might have been sitting on, but I had no activated effects. The triple tactics here. So at this point, I was just like, "Ooh, I really dodged a bullet, and I won the game." So it was crazy coming from nothing and just literally holding tight. And after like 1,000 turns, like I finally get a few cards I need. So that was what was in my match history. Let's go actually into my saved replays. So this first one was actually like a pretty good start. Like it was not like, or I mean, nothing like super crazy, but also not too easy. It was like a decent starting game. So I go Nadir to try to get an extra draw. Of course, like the other game where I had no monsters, here I have all monsters. I was like, okay, so so I get Fossil Dyna and Solemn Strike, which isn't like the best start ever. And now I'm literally worried because I mean, he just keeps throwing all of these, everything into the graveyard, and I don't have Necro Valley. But the one thing that kind of sort of saved my life, I destroyed him. My board is open. Now I can just sit here and evenly him, which I was so happy about. So whatever card this was, it was clearly important to him. I get another evenly, like most stupidest thing ever. I was so annoyed. But then at least I get to attack once, pass, and it's fun. You're not gonna believe that the evenly comes back into play. Like I don't even. It's so stupid. You're gonna see. So he attacks me and destroys me. Board is open. And now he just keeps kind of doing his nonsense. And then I was like, well, if I'm gonna start putting stuff on the field, let me just get this. Let me just use this evenly. Otherwise, it's gonna become a dead card. So throw that away. He throws this into banish, which I was completely shocked about. I got Jogan and Dogmatica now. So I go to try to attack, which actually goes through. I use Entis to destroy this. He's forced to use it and pull me across. Attacks me for 200. Woo, big damage. I was just like, whatever. So then I get my card back. So now I get Dogmatica. I got both Dogmatica cards and Jogan, and now, like, this is not horrible. This is, I mean, it's not the best, but I mean, he's literally sitting with 3 cards in his hand. I go and use Dogmatica, destroy his other card, get another draw. He wastes an Ash Blossom, now he's down to 1 card, but I have 2 monsters. Like, I like my odds, not his. I mean, he's not looking very good. I get Golgonda, which protects from destruction, and I keep attacking him, and he's still on 1 card. He goes with this card, he tries to attack me, I get protection from Golgonda. I use Ash, you know, and he uses his final card, so now he's totally top decking. And then at this point, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna crash him just because I can use this effect to make sure this doesn't die. And now he has 0 cards, and now he's really top decking. And yeah, there was no, he was not coming back from that. So, you know, like I said, like pretty decent starting game, like in my list of replays. Because, yeah, not super easy, not super hard. So this one, I mean, I had to make a choice of either D-Shifter or Nader Servant. I just used D-Shifter. It just made more sense to me. And then I just kind of sat on Jogan, just hoping nothing happens to him, which is very dangerous. And he imperms me, figures as much. I mean, what else can I really do? So he goes Math Mech Circular, he attacks me. He still has no graveyard, so he can't do nonsense, so at least I buy myself 1 more turn. So now I get to use my Nader Servant, he ashes it, depressing. I go Dogmatica, set Dogmatica here. I attack and crash because I kind of didn't care and I didn't want this card on the field. It was a gamble. I just figured, like, if he's not on the field, he can't do anything. I go in Dogmatica, Entis is cross out. I still have no cards. I'm literally just drawing like nothing right now. But I'm still, like I said, I find ways to claw back somehow. So I'm just, now I get Necro Valley. Now I'm happier because at least he can't use the graveyard because I know that Math Mech is very reliant on their graveyard. He does use, see, that he wanted to try to use some stupid spell thinking he can use it, but thank God for Necro Valley, and that was enough to piss him off and quit. So this one, I mean, I think I know what I'm gonna do because it just makes sense. So like I time tearing, I got protection. I figured 2 barrier statues would easily allow me to dodge the imperm if he tries to imperm one of them. And luck has it that has a fire deck, so they can't do anything. I end up Solemning because I had a feeling he can easily so like my fear with this, I'm just gonna explain. He uses his effect. He gets the that subversion Snake Eyes bullshit card, sends 1 card back. Then he uses the imperm on the other card, and then he can start. So I was like, yeah, I'm not letting you do that. I get Necro Valley next turn, thankfully. So I attack him twice. I got this just in case he somehow gets Flamberge on the field. I flip this. He thinks Harpy's gonna work. Doesn't work. Golgonda's like freaking lifesaver. I swear, this MVP of all my games, Golgonda. Like it's just insane. So I get Solum just as a safety net, Dogmatica to get another trap card, Moon Mirror, and now like this is perfect. Like this is exactly where I want to be. I have layers on layers of protection. Golgonda, Solum, even Dogmatica. See, he tries to use Raigeki here. I Solum this because I kind of wanted this game to be over next turn, and it was over now. It literally ended as I used that card. But yeah, it's like the thing with this deck, as you can clearly see, is once you start getting the back row protection around your barrier statues, like it gets really annoying to play around. And luckily, I was able to play through sometimes I had good draws, sometimes I had bad draws, but even the bad draws I'm able to play through. This one is no different. I mean, this is no different. So, time tearing is huge. Like that's pretty awesome. But I still have two Golgondas, which is also, I mean, that's kind of good too, because these are not soft ones per turn. Like you put both of them down, you get two protections or two like two escapes from destruction. So now this card looks scary, so I don't like it. So I want this out next chance I get. So you're gonna see like how dumb he was, because he made a pretty bad choice. So now I try to use time tearing. He literally uses his one effect to say no, so now he has no effect anymore. Golgonda, time tearing, I mean Moon Mirror Shield, Golgonda, and I just attack. And now what does he do? Like he has to attack through two different protections or two different escapes. So he attacks, he dies. I don't even know why he did that. Yeah, I think he was just I think that was just defiance at that point. He was just like, you know what, F you, I'm quitting. Like, and he just attacked me and just ended it himself. But yeah, that was like, I mean, it was just crazy how like time tearing was the card that was scaring him. I was like, oh, he's gonna use his effect already? Okay. And I just went and continued and did whatever else. So another not the greatest hand. But I at least get Fossil Dyna, and this is just like the weakest protection ever. I mean, it's just, I mean, it is what it is. So he goes to attack me, I destroy him, and thankfully that's all I needed. Like I did not expect that was gonna happen, but it worked. And like I also baited him to battle phase for him to attack before I used it. So you already know, time tearing, get Jogan to get an extra barrier. He ends up ashing me, but at least I get safe zone up, which is good because with safe zone I can throw it on Jogan, and I could just throw Jogan into defense, and then he's exists only there just to stop people from special summoning. He attacks me. He's probably like, "What the hell is this?" And just, freaking courtesy safe zone. So now I get Moon Mirror Shield on him, so I can attack over monsters. I have Dogmatica just because of just some extra interactions. Attack him for almost all of his life. And then this is literally it. Like, I set Golgonda, I set Inspector Border, I attack over with this, and then I just end the game. And then he tries to. Oh, that was the other funny thing. Yo, I'm telling you, Golgonda MVP. I mean, he tried to attack me or destroy me, and I just used the effect, and then it was fine. Like I ended up winning. That's crazy. I personally think this is like the best version, or at least I don't know if it's just me as a pilot or the deck itself, but I really feel like this is the best stun deck outside of adding the Ash Dragons I mentioned to you. But I love this deck. So start Necro Valley, Pot of Prosperity, hope I draw something useful. This was a tough one. I really just had to go Jogan and Mirror, and then just set the grave and just hope that that was enough. Thankfully, it was because this guy got so screwed because now he literally couldn't do anything. Like Labyrinth relies on all level 8 monsters and level 6 monsters, and they could not do anything. They literally had no they just could not activate any effects. And yeah, he's like this bullshit card. Like literally, this card won me the game. So now we're almost there. I saved the best for last. Don't worry. This last one is actually a really well involved game of me getting absolutely nothing and playing out of my ass to somehow secure a victory. But this one, so time tearing and literally fossil dyna and moon mirror. Like this is like it gets weaker and weaker as you guys watch this video, and it apparently was enough. I did not think it was, but it was. At least for now. We'll see what the rest of this game is like. So, Boganda, get another Fossil Dyna to take away the Imperm. So now here is where I start freaking out because I'm like, okay, you know, I set these here and I don't even know what he's playing and I'm not 100% sure. The minute I attacked over this and I saw that, my heart dropped. I was like, oh no, this is burn. Like you use this card for burn decks. So now I'm sitting here. I bet you any money he's sitting here waiting for me to start setting up a whole big board of all these things to be like, oh, I'm protected. Nothing's going to happen. So the first thing that tipped me off was when he just set one card and passed and set like a ton of back row. I was like, I don't know. But then when I attacked this card, that confirmed it. I was like, oh no. I was like, so now I just sit here and just attack with the like I just leave this board alone. I just keep attacking him. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna let him like sucker me into building a board and then just destroying me. I mean, even Necro Valley doesn't matter. I literally was like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep attacking him with these little cards that I have. Even the soul him, like he wants me to soul him. Like I soul him, he beats me. So I leave that soul him there. Like I don't even look at it. I don't even look at it the wrong way so it doesn't activate on accident. Like I was like, nah, I'm not touching that card. So what I do here is I nadir and try to force him to use one of his cards and just destroy one. Then at this point, I figure, oh well, let me just go Dogmatica, and then just attack to try to end the game. And luckily, I was correct. Like yeah, like I down to 900 life points. Like it was ballsy to put up the Dogmatica, but I figured one card wasn't gonna make or break me, and luckily it didn't. I mean, that was a little gutsy, but yeah, that was terrifying. So, I mean, honestly, probably even me destroying that one card might have even been the difference between me winning and losing. So, good thing I got that card out of there and then just won the game. So now this one is crazy because, see, I had Dimension Shifter. He's using like some weird variant of like aromatherapy or Rika or like just water monsters that rely on the graveyard. So I tried to use this stupid Dimension Shifter. He ends up um, called by. He hits me with a called by, and I was like, unbelievable. So then he just keeps playing, or you know, just comboing away. And I know this is not aromatherapy. This is what I like to call it. Like they always be coming up with the craziest names, so I came up with my own crazy name. So So at this point, I mean, this actually is a pretty damn good or like board, honestly. Like Cactus, like I can't even special summon anything. And then I don't know what these guys do, but I just saw that Cactus bouncer and I was like, man, what a jerk. So I mean, this is pretty awesome for him, but little does he know, I'm playing stun. So I mean, it just sucks for him. I mean, this kind of happens. So I get Necro Valley. He can't pull anything out of the graveyard, I Jogan and just destroy all of his stuff. Like, see, now this was a mistake. Like, I should have did safe zone, and then I should have threw away Gravekeeper or whatever, because he's using a lot of links, and links are not affected by this. Xyz are not affected by this. So it was slightly a misplay, but luckily it was still like enough to stop whatever was going on. So now I go Grave. He attacks me. See, now if I would have had safe zone, that would not have happened. Like that was just really bad. But Necro Valley has been just saving my life like game after game, so he can't do anything with his graveyard, so he had to sit. So I go Duality just to see what I get. I get Mirror Shield, Dyna, Mirror Shield, and then that just takes away all of what he tried to do. Like, because I'm literally sitting here at 900 attack, but Moon Mirror Shield negates it. So he really has no choice at this point. I mean, I don't know if he's going to quit right away, but it's just not looking good for him. So he starts taking, throwing things in the graveyard, Probably expecting to still pull stuff out for whatever crazy reason. But yeah, nothing happened. So now I get Fossil Dyna and Inspector Border also. So I attack him. And the reason I did it opposite is because he only had 300 attacks, so I wanted to get the most damage. So, but then he ended up destroying this card somehow, which I was like, all right, I don't care. And then he goes and attacks into Inspector Border like a dumbass. That was probably the funniest. That's why I had to save this replay, because like that last sequence just cracked me up. Like I was like, okay, well whatever, you destroyed my monster. Oh, let me go after your face down. Inspector Border, what the fuck is this? And just and he just quit. Like that was kind of a funny ending. I mean, he almost died after hitting it, so like I would, all I had needed was just one more attack and it was over. But that was a little comical. So time tearing, prosperity. I at least get a water monster, thankfully. So now at this point, Necro Valley, water monster, safe zone, and Solemn. I mean, safe zone will save me out of imperms at the very least. Sadly, it didn't this case because he used it instantly. Sadly, but so this sucked for him because I knew exactly what he was playing. Like Rika, so I play Rika Sun Avalon. This is Sun Avalon. I was like, oh, he's totally going Dryas to like start his nonsense, and I end up using my Solemn here to stop it. And I threw safe zone just in case, because then if they try to attack me, then it survives, and then like next turn I'll just be back to normal. Because, like, I'm telling you, he literally opened with Imperm. There's nothing you could do against that. So I just did safe zone, praying that he doesn't... See, look here, he would have attacked me. This would have fell off the field. But honestly, it doesn't even matter. At least I don't think so, because whatever he's playing probably is water monsters. Actually, so far, just kidding. It looks like he may not be playing Rika, just Sun Avalon and whatever else. And this was a fire monster, so I kind of looked out. Like, halfway playing through this game, I was like, damn, was this the right statue to even have? But it looks like it worked to my benefit. So now, this is smart. So this can't get destroyed. So he has to take a chance and attack into these two monsters, hoping that he just gets them off the field. Well, now he definitely has to get him off the field. Sucks for him. It worked out, so I got very lucky here. So now you saw that, like he tried to, or so like it's my turn. I flip up my monster, and the minute that happened, yeah, like he ended up getting destroyed. So I destroyed him twice. Like first he attacks into my face down, he gets destroyed. Then he tried to go into Dryas for whatever, and then he just left on Dryas for whatever weird reason. And then the minute this happened, like I flipped my guy up, he got his Dryas destroyed again. So it was just, it was funny. It was like effect after effect working in my favor. And then, yeah, at that point, he's like, yeah, there's not much else I can do here, and that was game. Now to the last one where like I pulled. I'm telling you, I had the trashiest hand, and I still somehow played like into a victory. Like it was so stupid. Like, and you're gonna see because I never felt like I had control of this game at all the entire game. So turn one, I go D shifter because that's all I have, and there's really nothing else I can even do here. So now I literally sit on D shifter, Grave of Super Ancient, and Solon. That's literally all I have. Like just two cards, just to hope. But then he puts two in ends, and I was like, okay. So then I got Grave, I got the Grave card active, which helps me a little bit. But then I just keep drawing into more nonsense. But at least I have the Solon. So he attacks me with Medora, and I was like, okay, I don't care. Because it's not a lot of damage. I finally get Ecclesia. Then he goes Havness. I at least get Dogmatic and set here, and just kind of wait it out. So now, so my plan here is, I'm going to, so he's going to go and attack me. So I use Dogmatica's effect, so now if I destroy the both of these, this card's effect goes active in the graveyard. So I try to take a different approach. I attack with this card. He uses Crime. That's when I had to soul him, because I was like, yeah, bro, that's not happening. Like, he really thought he had me with Crime, and I just said, fuck that, flip this, and I hit him with a soul him. Said, not on my watch. So this goes through. I use the Cloud Beast to shove his card back into hand, and that's how I was able to kind of stop that whole situation from happening. So now I get Moon. So now I'm kind of desperate. Like that's why I use Moon Mirror Shield. I was desperate because I still never got a barrier, and I don't even have that much of a back row. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna have to set Moon Mirror Shield here and just hope that that's enough to like not let them kill me. So he has Kashtira here. He ends, but now with Kashtira, like again, like so these guys are like most of the tier limit cards, like they have to be taken away by a card effect. I'll show you here. If this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, so I was like, okay, well I'm not going to send it by card effect. I'm just going to crash right into him. So I get Time Tearing, attack him. He goes into graveyard safely, and then I end phase here. So I was just literally playing like super carefully. He ends up throwing away my my the one trap, which kind of sucks. So that was very depressing. So now he has Kid Kalos. Keeps playing. Goes into Kaleido Heart. So now he throws this away. He attacks into me, and now I'm just like, oh, all right, well, evenly. So then now this is cool because now he only has one monster on the field, and that's pretty beatable depending on what I have. Now the other cool thing is that with Kaleido Heart attacking me, he's a monster summoned from the extra deck, so this card doesn't get destroyed. So I ended up using the effect of that Moon Mirror to top deck. So I literally top decked the Moon Mirror Shield and Raigeki. I just used Moon Mirror Shield to attack into him. Now his effect doesn't go off either because it wasn't by a card effect. And now I'm sitting pretty, or semi-pretty again. He has no monsters on his field. He only has two cards, and I'm kind of sitting a little bit better. I go Duality. I get Prosperity. Use Prosperity. So I go Fossil Dyna because he has water monsters. The minute Fossil Dyna comes into my hand, he quits. It was crazy. Like I'm telling you, like there was a lot of like little like interactive like because he attacks me. Freaking Dogmatica doesn't go into the graveyard. I end up using the effect of the Moon Mirror to grab it back for next turn, and It was just like I kept just playing out of my ass just repeatedly. I was like, oh well, this happened, but I could do this. This happened, but I could do that. And I just like I said, I had that whole game. I did not feel comfortable. Like there was not one point where I was like, all right, this is a good board. He can't break through it. It was just like constantly just on my back foot, but I was still able to beat him. So there you have it. Let me go back into the duelist screen. So thank you guys for watching. As I mentioned, 10888. Let's for for laughs. Let's just see what the ranking is for like the top guy. The 82,000. Yeah, ain't no way. Like there's no way. I mean, congratulations. Hats off to these guys. But damn it, like I got up to at least 1088, which I was very happy and proud about. Oh, and I'm actually ranked 20,000th or higher, so that's cool. And 12,000. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna play anymore until this is closes. I just set a personal goal for 10,000 and I was happy I hit it. Maybe one day I'll just keep like messing around with my stun deck to just constantly like optimize it and see where I get. But for now, I hope this was enjoyable for all of you. Thanks for watching. And next video I might do like I have a few decks that I'm working on, so I may just showcase one of those and just kind of play through them in rank just for laughs. And so yeah, stay tuned guys. I'll work on those and I'll see you guys in the next video.